time that it takes to catch 40 winks, we're going to take our 427 LS-powered Chevelle from carburation to EFI. Why do the switch? Well, carburetors are great for peak horsepower, but in terms of drivability, throttle response, and fuel economy, EFI has that battle won hands down. We're going to prove that you can do the swap and not put in any overtime. FAST EZ-EFI comes with everything you need to replace a carburetor: the throttle body, the injectors, ECU, and even the handheld programmer. Now that means we won't be needing this. Now, one thing you may not be able to do at home is installing the bung for the oxygen sensor. If you're going to farm that work out, do it first so you can still drive the car home. Now, because EFI uses higher fuel pressure than a carbureted setup, you're also going to have to source a fuel pressure regulator, a high pressure pump, filter, and all the associated plumbing. Now, we've taken the easy route and gone with FAST's kit that includes these pieces. Whenever you're working around fuel, you want to take the proper precautions, like draining the fuel tank and being ready to catch spills. Now, we're running both a feed and return line, and in this case we're using some braided stainless that we had to match the rest of the plumbing on the car. FAST offers two different kinds of pumps for this particular kit. You can either have the inline pump like we're using, or they also have an in-tank version. We're also going to be using the supplied inline fuel filter. All we've got left to do is finish the plumbing under here, wire it up, and we're ready to go under the hood. Well, we're about halfway through our installation, and we're taking a little break here. Going to have some Otter Pops. Sean, do you want grape or antifreeze flavor?
I'll take antifreeze. I'm a car guy.
There you go. All of our fuel plumbing is taken care of, so now we're moving on to the electrical side of things. And that's going to be easy, and not just because Sean is doing it instead of me. FAST provides a complete harness that's already set up to connect all the sensors the ECU needs to see, things like coolant temperature, intake air temperature, throttle position, and of course the RPM signal. We're running an ignition box, so we can take the tach signal straight off of that, but for cars with a standard distributor, FAST provides an RPM module that gives the ECU that information. Sean's under the dash mounting up the ECU. I'm helping. Now, because the ECU's body is ruggedized, you can put it on the other side of the firewall inside the engine compartment as long as it's not exposed to too much heat or too much moisture. We're putting it in here for the sake of convenience. We're back under the hood, and Sean is hooking up all the throttle cable connections. This is set up to work just exactly like a carburetor. All the linkages are the same, the return spring is the same, and we've even got an electronic kickdown for our automatic transmission. It's exactly the same as it was with the carburetor, so it's an easy swap. All right, we've got our positive and negative leads from the harness hooked up to the battery. Sean is in here connecting the ECU, and once that's done, we'll be able to send some power to the fuel pump, set our fuel pressure, and check for leaks. Now that all our wiring is hooked up, we can turn on the ignition and check our fuel pressure. With our plumbing checked and our wiring all done, all we have to do is run through FAST Setup Wizard. Now, if you can use a TV remote, you can use this controller. Basically, it's going to walk us through some simple questions like what is the displacement of the engine, where do we want our idle speed, things like that. Once we get that set, we'll calibrate our throttle and we'll be ready to start it for the first time. We've given the ECU a little bit of time to settle in and find its idle parameters, so now all that's left is taking it out for a test drive. The great thing about the EZ-EFI system is that it's always in learning mode. As you drive, it continuously monitors the engine's performance and adjusts itself to give the perfect tune-up. Over time, you'll notice the system adjusts itself to your driving style and your engine parameters to give you crisp throttle response and no power loss. Well, there you go. We've taken our FAST EZ-EFI system out of the box and onto the road. And we did it without needing a laptop computer to tune it. We kept our carbureted intake manifold, and we didn't have to do anything fancy with the fuel system. Now, FAST offers a lifetime guarantee on their EZ-EFI systems, so check them out at www.fuelairspark.com.